Round my life, wonder where did I go wrong? Sometimes I start to wonder.
All right, I'm gonna take a chance. I don't know who you are. I'm letting you on. I don't know who you are.
I just want to say, I'm glad that I found you all over again. I had started watching you when you barely had started your channel back. I think when you started collaborating with the foundation that you're working with.
Okay.
And so I was just kind of like, because I know that you're very like informative regarding like federal and how you were in camp and how you went to the halfway house and all that kind of good stuff. So I had been following your story. And back in February, I had mentioned to you regarding like my husband and how he had been incarcerated. You did get me in contact with somebody.
Yeah. Okay, it's starting to come back. Yeah.
Yes. So no, I just wanted to let you know that he is eligible for early release. There's obviously like some questions, but I'm not sure if you guys will cover kind of like topics where, because I noticed that there's a lot of people out there that don't know really what to expect as a family member. They don't know what to expect during these times. And I think that's one of the things that you're doing. You know, you're kind of like letting us know, hey, you know what, this is what you should be expecting. Don't get your hopes up, but it's going to happen in due time. Yeah. So one of the questions I did have for you.
Go for it. Go for it.
Thank you. As of course, if I can. It's actually he is eligible for early release. He has a release date for next year, which is on the 6th of January. His case was being transferred from San Diego, but home confinement didn't work out because my landlord did not approve the house, like the USPO coming over to do the
they come over, you gotta have a landline, they want to see who lives there, all that.
So that didn't work out because like our landlord, like we live in a back house, and so he was like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. So it really it really sucked. It really put things back. So his PO wasn't able to do any of that stuff. So his case was going to be transferred from San Diego, and because the home confinement didn't work out, he's going to be pushed out to a halfway house in San Diego. And
in San Diego, I think there's 4 or 5 of them in San Diego too. Do you know which one?
I don't. That's the thing. So everything has been stalled right now until his case manager, I guess, gets involved. They've submitted his paperwork for that to happen. But my question is, how long would something like that take? At this point, I feel like he's just probably going to get released on his release date at that point.
So that's a good question. So it's kind of up to his case manager. Where's he at right now? Do you know what prison he's at? Oh, he's at Lompoc.
Yeah.
So, Lompoc's a big prison. So the case managers are the ones who call the halfway house and set up, like a reservation at a hotel, right?
Okay.
Now let's say he gets first step back credits and all of a sudden he has, 30 extra days that he can be released early. The case manager has to now call the halfway house and say, this guy's got an extra 30 days. Do you have an opening, in March instead of April? And the halfway house will say, yes, we do, or yes, we don't. Or he can call up a different halfway house that has an opening. But a lot of case managers don't want to do the work. They'll just tell the guy, no, you're going when you're going. I'm not going to do the work. And that's a big problem in the Bureau of Prisons. I don't know if they're lazy. They just don't care.
He was out.
Retired. They don't want to do the work. They don't care about you. They have 100 people in their caseload. Is that an excuse? They're getting paid good money. They're getting like $80,000 a year. Why can't they do the work?
Exactly. And that's the thing, like right now, that's why I'm like, it's kind of stalled in that aspect, because the paperwork was submitted for him to be released, but now it's going to be homeless. He's going to be released as homeless pretty much to San Diego, to a halfway house.
Allow that though. He'll have to be in a halfway house or a sober living house.
Yeah, that's why they're going to send him out. But on his file, he's going to be marked as homeless to go to the halfway house, obviously. Not to go, in order to go. It's just that he's just marked as homeless because the home confinement didn't work out. So I'm in the process. I'm moving out and stuff like that to an apartment so I can get that approved for him so he can be transferred from the halfway house over to home confinement, because they're saying that they're probably pushing people out out of the halfway houses
now,
as
with
well.
home confinement, they have to check in with the halfway house, and sometimes they stay there a month before the halfway house approves the home confinement, because the halfway houses run home confinement.
Yeah.
And tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I got the director of the Albuquerque Federal Halfway House coming on this channel. He's going to be sitting right next to me, not on a remote. And if you can come in at 3 o'clock, you're in California?
Yes,
So
California.
that'll be 2 o'clock your time tomorrow. It'll be on this channel, and you can ask him the question directly, because he's the director, and he may have a better answer than me. But a lot of times it's oh, and here Sean Herman is in the room, and she's a big help with this stuff. If you want to come on, Sean, the link right up above. She's a prison advocate, and she can answer your question too. Let me see if she'll come on.
I got a question. Nova, are you nervous?
Yep. Go ahead.
Am I nervous?
Yeah.
Like nervous for his release?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. It's been, it's been 8 months since,
Right.
I've been adapting to solidarity. I can say, solitude to my solitude, you can say.
Right.
But you know what? As a woman, I think that this is, you can take it as one or the other. You can break yourself, or you can be like, you know what? No, like there's no in between. You either quit or you just don't even try at all. So I think this has been such a learning experience for me to just be on my own, to be, I think think for myself and say, you know what, if I don't do this, if I don't wake up at 5:30 and I don't get to work, how am I going to pay my rent? I think that being married for 2 years and being like at home, and I kind of adapted to him being like the provider. And now when everything was just like, boom, he surrendered, you have to take on the whole load and you have to figure it all out, jump back into the work field. That for me was scary. So now him coming back, the changes, like him, I'm not sure how he's going to feel. So I have to be very considerate about his feelings, about him trying to come back and to adapt, and
Well,
even though it has been.
Let me stop you there. He's
months,
very lucky you're waiting for him. And he
Right.
did this to you.
That's
You
right,
didn't do this
exactly.
to him. He did this to you. And you gotta
Yes.
you must be angry. You've got to
Oh
be
yeah,
when it first, married 2 years and now you're running off to prison on me? Come on, man.
Exactly.
Right?
You're thinking, and you know what, God, I feel like God, there's always a positive in every negative situation, because for me it's like, I tried to, expand my family with him, and it just didn't happen. It wouldn't happen. And God knew, like, I can't put this on your plate and then still have this happen to you, because it's just not going to work for you, So I think that above anything, I thank God for the experience. I thank God for helping him get closer to his mercy. And because he was angry at him for, his father's death because of cancer. And I feel like it kind of opened his eyes that no, like that's just a part of life sometimes. And you can't be mad with somebody that has literally had your back for your entire life. It's just the perspective that you have. So yeah, it's a little scary. Nervous.
Us criminals got to grow up. We can't blame our parents anymore for our actions. When we're adults, we make these decisions, and for him he needs to come back and crawl and ask you for forgiveness and beg you for mercy. And thank God you waited for him. You know what I mean? You know how lucky he is that you're waiting for him?
I don't think he gets it either. I don't think he gets it either, because there's times where he wants to kind of feel entitled that he can hang up on me because I may feel sad, or I may be feeling a little bit explosive because I may be under a lot of pressure. And the only person I can vent to is him. So it's like it leaves me with all of this bottled up, and time after time that happened. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing this and I'm holding this down and I'm doing, and I'm not trying to put it in your face, but I think you should really kind of take a step back and see that we're both going through a really rough patch,
Yeah, and you're in your own prison. When he goes to prison, he left you high and dry.
Exactly. And remember how we established that also, like, when you're doing the time, family is also doing the time with you, because we're not going out there having fun. We have to take care of responsibilities to ensure that you're okay and you have your essentials and you have food.
And when somebody says, how's your husband doing?
Exactly.
What do you, well, he's in prison? How does that make you feel? When
I'm like, how do I say my Marine went to prison? How do I say that?
He works for the state. He works for the feds.
Yeah.
Yes,
He needs-
you know, he's at the staff campus right now. He's not gonna come home till, and you know, that's the hardest thing, you know, having to find a place and going through all these changes and having to say like, well, my husband's not in the picture right now, but you know, in 2 months maybe he will be coming into the apartment. So it's like you see a ring on me and you're like, okay, so if you're moving alone, then why do you have a ring? Are you kind of like not okay in your head? And so those are questions that obviously come arising with like landlords and stuff like that. But like we established, you know, back in February, it's, you know, family is actually doing the time with you. We don't know what to expect. Where I'm just grateful that he's waking up every morning. I'm grateful that he's kind of sticking to his program. He's, you know, doing what is going to help him and help me. That's, you know, kind of opening himself to the law of attraction and knowing that your thoughts will really make you, your mind will really break you if you allow it to. So he's become, although he's a Marine, he's become a little bit more empathetic, you know, because he was very just cold, right?
I mean,
Well, he needs to know. He needs to know and realize how lucky he is to
her
have you.
when he gets home
You know what
how
I
he
mean?
needs to kiss her ass and beg for mercy, and he's gonna have a rude awakening when he gets out. Tell her, guys. Tell
Well,
her.
the first thing that he should say to you, he should apologize for even going to prison in the first place and putting you in a position that you have been in, you know. He needs to apologize and say, look, I'm sorry for going to prison and, you know, for making you hold the fort, you know, where it's his responsibility as a man of the house. You know what I mean?
Correct. And that's why, you know, I thank him because of everything that he did. You know, he allowed me to work. Not that he allowed me, but he was like encouraging me, like, okay, babe, you can do this, you can do that. And, you know, but now it's like,
guys.
oh,
Gotta
right.
go. Okay, Harvey. Talk soon,
Thank you,
brother.
Harvey. God bless you.
God bless you all
Hey
too.
guys, real
Thank
quick,
you.
there's
Say
a
hi
guy
to
here,
Mindy for me.
he says it's your favorite prison guard. I have my eyes on you.
That's kind
Yeah, I
of
don't know what
creepy.
that's about.
Do you guys know him?
No, he's
No.
that's kind of
I don't remember you. I don't remember you as my prison guard, but
It sounds
That's-
like a troll.
keep
Sounds
watching
like a troll,
because
Sean.
all we try to do is help people. So I'm glad you're watching the show.
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's great. It's beautiful to have stumbled upon you again, and I know that the people that I have also, you know, had a relationship with also like with social media, and I opened doors and stuff like that, and seeing you walk into this community, and you know Rick and Frank too. Frank's like a brother to me. So
Frank
it's like a
and Rick are
community
good,
that
good people.
he's really good people, man. He's just about love
100%.
and spreading the positive vibes out of the struggle. So it's like you have either one option. You can allow the struggle to break you and you can destroy yourself, or you can allow that to, you know what, just let that cup of positivity just overflow and continue to have faith. So for me, it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be an adapting process again, having to okay, so the decisions making is going to be now both of us again. So that part, it's like, you know, but like he
Gotta
said,
get
you know,
used to working as a team again. You know what I mean?
mhm, exactly. So it's just beautiful to have like that, to have seen you again, Sean. It's good to, like, you know, have stumbled upon you again, because I had lost you, and I was like, how do I find him? How do I find him?
Oh, okay.
Sean's a very good man. He's
Yeah,
a
he
very
is.
good man. He's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's very-
Is your name P Nova? I guess what did I call
P
you?
Nava. P Nava. Patricia, remember?
Patricia. Oh yeah.
Patricia.
So you know, I work for Wings for Life. You know what they
Yes.
are, right? So
Yes,
we
I
help-
spoke
we
to
help-
Angie.
We got
Angie.
established just for people like you, for women where their husbands
Good,
are away in
she's a good
prison.
woman.
It's my boss who started the organization. Her husband went away to federal prison, left her high and dry with 4 kids, bills, rent, all that. He just, bye, I'm going to go work out and take classes and walk the track and get in shape, not worry about bills. And you take care of the family.
Oh my
And
God.
when I get out, I want that all to be waiting for me when I get out. And
It's
I'll
like
That's
be
not
how
fair on
to,
her.
the,
She doesn't deserve
you know,
that.
the stress. And one advice she did give me, because I spoke to her on the phone, and
Oh,
she was like,
nice.
just never tell say that your husband's in, like, deployed. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But she's amazing. She did tell me about her backstory, and It's true, you know. They're expecting to have everything to come back to things to come back to what
like
they
you're
like.
gonna be there. Welcome home, welcome back, a big party.
You know, it's
No,
you know
what you just did to me, and I'm still waiting for you.
Yeah,
you got
like
a
there's
lot of nerve.
yeah, there's like that person. Like I feel like I'm obviously like not going to be walking on eggshells, and he won't be walking on eggshells. But I want him to understand and to appreciate the fact that my love is so great that I put everything on hold and just kept grinding to make sure we kept our car, to make sure we have a roof over our head, to make sure my child's still having food in his mouth, to make sure I'm still doing laundry, still having
You had
to
to be the
freaking buy
mother,
food.
the father, the breadwinner, the provider,
I
the
have to be
caretaker,
everything.
all this stuff, right? And he's just, getting in shape.
It's like,
and
let me
working
get in
out and-
shape, let me read
Yeah.
books, okay, money's on my
That's
commissary.
why-
And you know what I mean? It's like he understands that he didn't do this when he met me. It was a case he was fighting. But at the end of the day, I think that he should kind of like just, hey, you're not so entitled to feel the way you're feeling, because at the end of the day, you did this to me. So I have the right to feel angry. I have the right to feel stressed, because I was relying on a partner, not somebody that was going to just up and leave and, hey, I have to like be gone for a year. It doesn't work like that. So so it's just beautiful, like that you're also like giving people expectations of what to expect out of the situation, to know that it's okay to be angry, to know that it's okay to feel frustrated.
It is
And
okay. It is okay.
as long as
It
you're
is
being
okay.
honest with yourself that, hey, I am bitter right now. I am angry a little bit inside, because this is not right. You're putting me in a situation where I can fail and I can destroy myself because of the fact that emotions are so volatile, that how do you control them when so much is just hitting the fan? I'm being asked to move out by the landlord, and
I
it's
don't
like,
blame
okay,
your landlord. You go to your landlord. My husband's getting out of prison, and
Yeah.
the PO needs to come
and
and
he's
check
like,
the place.
wait a minute.
I don't blame your landlord. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't blame him at all. And
Yeah,
he's gonna,
exactly.
That's why that's why I'd say he's lucky to have you, because I've lost count how many times I've seen in prison, where the woman just like says, "Well, bugger this, I'm out of here," and she leaves. You know what I mean?
It's like, I'm not talking to anybody. That doesn't cross my mind. My mind is like, no, this is going to make us. This is going to make us stronger.
Make you
This is going to
make you even stronger.
make me more resilient emotionally, because I'm a freaking wreck sometimes. I had depression hit me for a few months, and I couldn't cope, and it would just be sadness. But now it's like, no, I feel a little bit more empowered, and I'm like, okay, if God allows everything just to go, it's just gonna go, because I'm gonna do the legwork. And if my legwork is not gonna be enough, it's because God is saying, like, this is not right, you got to take this path. So that's how I see things. And it's just nice that people like Sean, you guys are doing Aussie Talks Prison too. Like, I think that what you guys are doing is beautiful, because when he comes out, that's something that I want to speak to him about, so we can kind of like do something, not be on YouTube, I can say, because he's not okay with all that. But he
let
I
me
wasn't
tell you,
I
he
wasn't
needs
at
to
first either. It took me a while to warm up.
No, it's
Patricia,
more about me. It's
He
like,
needs to understand, when he gets out of prison, his job, he doesn't have a role in your family anymore, because you've been the father, the mother, the provider, the caretaker, the nurser, the breadwinner. I've covered all that. So when he gets out, it's like, I don't have a role for you. I'm doing everything. So he needs to find a way to get back into that role, and it's never going to be the same.
It definitely
He
isn't,
needs
because
to realize that
it
he's so
changed
lucky
me.
that you're even going to let him be part of the family again. But he has to start all over again.
It is true.
Most guys don't realize that. They think, hey, I'm home, move aside, everything's going to be okay. But I have my prison issues I want to talk about. You don't want to hear about his prison issues. You don't want to hear, you know what I went through while you were in prison? Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
And it's changed me, like you said.
It's not going to be easy for you when he gets out.
It's not. I'm obviously nervous, because I feel a little bit more empowered, and it's like, well, I have to take this road, because this is what's more logical in my head. And now it's going to be like, hey, it's going to be two people making the decision. So at that point, it's like, that's my only nervousness, you could say. But other than that, like, I'm really excited. I'm waiting to see how everything plays out. I just don't know what really to expect timeline wise, as everybody else is just waiting for their family member to get out. I don't know what to expect about like how his emotions are going to be.
Well,
So
I would suggest that you guys have marriage counseling from day one. And if he refuses, you might want to say goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm serious. And
No,
But
I,
if he
I
loves
can
you,
trust me.
if
You know
he
what?
loves you,
there is
he
free
would
said-
do it.
he actually did say that. He actually did say that. He's like, babe, we got to go to marriage counseling and we're going to get
Good.
involved in a
There you
church.
go.
And
That just
he wants
shows
to
how
do
much he loves
Christian
you.
church.
Because
Yeah,
I can
he
hook you
wants
up
to.
with free. I can hook you up with free marriage counseling through my office. But yeah, that's good that he
Thank
said.
you.
Okay, that's
Thank
a
you.
great-
Yeah, no,
that's a
he's
great
willing
answer
to
that
do
he
that.
gave you.
And
There's
then
hope
his
then. There's hope then.
he has already, like, when he went in, he was a plumber, right? But he has the same company, the same owner of that plumbing company. He wants him back into one of the vans. He wants him back into his sales. He wants him back to be a plumber for his company because he's a very like well-spoken individual, and he has everything laid out. It's just a matter of us not colliding, matter of us not being as upset with one another, and him understanding like, hey, I just been through a lot of stress that I wasn't expecting. And it's true because, like, if I were just say my backstory, it's like this was an adulting process for me, being 28 and being always on my own, having to fend only for myself, my son, co-parenting and all that. It had this period of my life, it's like God needed to allow to happen because it built so much resilience. It built maturity within me to kind of not react to my emotions.
Then that's good, right?
It definitely did, So he has a job lined out. I'm getting the place, and his boss is helping me move. He's gonna help me like kind of like subside the whole like deposit because again, it was something unexpected for him to say, hey, I need you to evacuate, and I need it by September. So I'm trying to move out by this weekend.
Wow.
And
Impressive
all of that
pressure.
it's a lot. It's a lot. So I cried.
Have you ever heard the
I cried in the
saying?
shower. Huh?
Have you ever heard the saying? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I heard that, and I've never taken it so literal until now in my life.
Yep.
And I
See?
cry, and it's okay to be emotional, but at the end of the day, I'm not
Yeah.
giving up.
It's going to be
No,
a lot of
never
hard
give
work to get your marriage back together. But I think if you lasted this long, I think you want it to happen. But
I do. I want my
Yes.
family.
be
I
prepared
love
for a lot
him.
of hard work, and you guys got to communicate. You got to talk every day. Your anger, you need to talk out your anger, all that stuff. Don't leave anything under the pillow and save it for next week. It's not the
And he
right time
needs
to
to-
talk about it. No, get it all
He needs to
out.
be there. He
Yes.
needs to be your husband. He needs to be there for your son. You know what I mean?
Yes,
How old is
definitely.
your son?
He's 12 already.
12. So he's old enough to be in the conversation.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yes.
Yeah.
saying. Like, he sees me cry. He sees me kind of like be down in the slumps. We are limited on funds, and it's okay because everybody has their problems, but priorities and bills are taken care of, and that's what really matters. Food's on the table. So I feel like, he also needs an explanation. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
this is what happened, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry I made you guys go through this. I'm sorry you saw your mom in this state, and he needs to give me a lot of affection because I feel
Oh,
like
he does.
I've
He
been
does.
through hell.
You sure you can say that again?
Yeah, I've been through hell, and I need a hug. I need a hug from him.
Yes,
And
you do.
I need
wish I could
a
give you
little
hug,
bit of
bro.
compassion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the
But that was,
human body.
he needs to hug you and say, baby,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like I just need that affection already, and it's like, babe, I just want to hug you already. These hugs at visits aren't enough anymore.
No,
We're
that's-
still 6 feet apart. You still can't really hug me, unless like the CEO lets you. So it's like,
You need
it's
to be
like
up
it's been
close.
some
You need to
time.
be up close, and
You need to, so he can hold you tight.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like right now. It's what I really want. That's my goal, and I've been making the effort to make sure that happens. And I've taken care of him, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm also being taken care of because I need love and I need that affection, and I need to like, hey, everything's gonna be okay. And that's what I freaking love about these platforms because it's like everybody's just raining freaking support to one another. It's like. It's
That's what
amazing.
we
It's
do.
beautiful.
Yeah, we're
It's
not on here
beautiful.
talking about thug life.
No.
We don't play that. We don't.
You guys are
Yeah.
making a change in people's life. Like Sean, I can say this over and over again, but I cannot exalt enough the fact that when I stumbled upon you on YouTube to begin with, you're the one that started that little chain. Other channels started popping up and you got lost in the mist. And I was just like, bruh, when I saw you come up again, I was like,
Oh, thank you.
that's Sean.
So you know what I did? I reached out to all these other guys with channels that I thought had a positive message, and now I'm getting us all together, and we're one big strong entity now. And
Yes.
now we are a power. right, Adam?
Yes. And it's
That's
not like
right,
you guys are
exactly.
talking about.
Hey, we're
Go
not
ahead.
sitting there
see,
trying to.
I-
We're not covered in tattoos and telling you about
No.
I'm affiliated with the Serenos and you're not. And
And let me tell you about the time my bunkie got stabbed and he went to
yeah,
the
yeah,
hole. And no, it's like
we'll
it's
tell a
different.
little
You guys,
story here and there, but we don't care about.
but
Good
it's
for you.
different.
Good for
But-
you that you got back into your gang. I'm so happy. You know.
Yes.
I don't
See,
care.
so
Well,
you can
good
get
for
a
you,
bit
you dropped out, but you're still like basically worshiping your whole like past, you know. And I feel like you
Yeah.
guys are it's totally different because you guys are actually making a change in people's life. Like you gave me strength talking to her on the phone. Like you gave me the resource to hear another
Oh.
woman. You know,
See,
you gave me
thank
that
you.
resource,
Oh,
and it
thank
made
you
me
so
feel
much.
really good. It gave
Thank
me
you.
that push and say, hey, you're gonna feel depressed, you're gonna feel like this, but you need to get out into the community and start volunteering. Do not shut
Yeah.
yourself out. And that's when she was like, don't lie about your husband and being in the military. Right now, you are separated. And that is the truth. You are
Yeah,
separated.
that
And
is.
more than that, you don't need to say. So just go out there. And it was true. Like I was closing myself. I was like in a
Oh, and it's
trance.
easy to do that. Just come home after your day and stay in your house and
And then
isolate and
Sean,
cry and
I
yeah,
work at
but
home. I work from home. So can
that's
you
a
imagine
miserable.
having
Yeah.
to
You
just
know, I was
wake
just
up,
gonna
go to work,
say,
get off, go to sleep?
So you might as well be
So you
in the
get to
shoe
know
yourself.
me.
You might as well be in solitary confinement yourself.
Exactly. So I'm like literally doing the time because I'm in these four walls of this home. You
Yeah.
know, unless I'm going to the grocery store, I don't go out in nature like into nature, hiking, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, my son does because I co-parent, but as far as for me, it's like I'm actually I went through it. And it's like I did the time, but it doesn't mean my life was on hold. I grew, I matured. I was able to like not react on my emotions, and I just want that reciprocated when the time comes, you know?
I'm so glad
I
I
had
let
a
you on
channel
tonight because
called-
everything you've said, there are mothers out there and wives out there watching you right now, and they're crying and they're like, that's how I feel. I know
It's
you're
okay.
helping people.
Mhm.
Thank
Yeah,
you
and it's
so
okay to
much.
cry. It's okay to cry, but get up, wipe them tears from your face,
Yeah.
and just know that every day it's gonna get a little bit easier. It's gonna get a little bit easier. And if you listen to Sarah Evans, she'll tell you you can get a little bit
Yeah.
stronger.
Harvey's coming back. Hey,
It's gonna
Patricia,
I had a
little bit
channel.
easier.
would
I
you
had a
do
channel
another show with me in
that
the future too?
She'll tell you you can get a little bit
it was
stronger.
called Aussie Prison
Oh, we
Talk.
got feedback. Harvey,
My channel,
you hear
I
me,
had to start.
Patricia?
See,
let me
can you
mute.
hear us?
Yeah, I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you
me
now.
now?
Explaining.
Patricia, would you
Aussie
do another
Talks
show with me
Prison.
in the future too? We can talk about what you went through.
Oh,
It might help
definitely.
you.
Yeah. If you'd
Okay.
like to set something up, I would like to encourage other women too, because more than anything, I feel like as women, we need to empower one another. I feel like
Yeah.
we need to kind of the reality of it, baby, is that you're gonna feel down. You're gonna feel like you're worthless, but no. Look around you. You're actually making a change. You're building your family. You're being a provider for your family in every
Yeah.
aspect of the book. So I would definitely, yes, I would do an interview for you because again, you're like the first person that actually made that push for me. And even though I was
Thank you.
crying and feeling away, it was just, hey, you don't half-ass things. You either go all the way or you don't even try because you're gonna fail for yourself.
Yeah.
You
There's
can
my
come
phone
on my
number.
channel too if you
Write
want.
that down. Patricia, you see
Yes.
my phone number there?
Yes, I'm gonna
If you-
screenshot that.
Huh?
Perfect. I just
Okay.
screenshotted that.
All right. And then call me and we'll set something up because everything you said, you can help so many women out there. And
I
the
want
fact
to.
that you're brave enough to come on here and talk about it, because a lot of women are still isolating in their house. They're, you know what we've been talking about, and
Yeah.
they're waiting for their husband to come home. And I know there's some men that have wives in prison. They go through the same thing, but not like a woman does. you
Yeah,
know?
no, it's not. He tells me the same thing where it's like, if you were here, I would do the same for you. And it's like, baby, we're two different breeds. We're two different breeds. I'm a woman and I have so much emotions, and I can just say, you know what? I'm done. And I can just up and leave. But
Yeah.
as far as for men, it's like you're very resilient. You can find other ways, means, and do this and that. For women, it's hard to be a provider. As a single mother, because I was a single mother during this period, it's very, very hard. It's very hard. you have to think about your rent. You have to think about your bills to keep your light on. You have to think about your car expense, because if you don't have a car, how are you going to get groceries? You know, if it's just a lot that comes into play. And I think that a lot of women, they beat themselves. And I did that. And I realized, like, wait a minute, I'm very strong. God is a provider. He makes this possible. And it's just really your perspective. So it's like when somebody kind of turns that little light bulb and says, hey, start thinking about this, like Sean, for example, you in the beginning, and then Angie too. It's like, hey, you know, start thinking about this. It's like you shifted my perspective from that. It was like, you're going to be sad. Yes, it feels like crap. Yes, they did you wrong. But are you going to stay or are you going to walk away?
Remember, it's okay to be angry at your husband, because he did this to you. Harvey, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I agree with her. She can come on my show too if she wants.
Definitely, yes. I think that's a great movement, guys. I think that
go
a lot
on
of
Harvey's
women
show too.
don't know.
And Harvey has a wife, and she can maybe your wife can come on too. She's
Well, that
been
would
coming
be
on your
beautiful.
channel lately.
That would be beautiful, Harvey. That would be beautiful, because I think that we can both share experiences. I know that she had her share, I have my share. And I think, like, with that, we're going to be able to give a lot of women hope, because I feel like we numb ourselves. We numb ourselves and we kind of shut ourselves out. And it's like we need somebody to give us that shoulder and to tell us, hey, you got to get up, and you're a woman and you're strong. You're no different than a man just because they can do labor work and you can't do the exact same labor work, right? So it's just a matter of keep trying. If you don't have a job, apply to 20 jobs a day. You know, go back to your resume, ask them why you weren't, a candidate or a qualified candidate, or what made you overqualified. You got to start speaking for yourself. And I think this is the era where, if this is happening for women and they want to stick in their husband's life during this incarceration period, I think it's very important for them to grow through this experience and not shove themselves down more and more and more.
Hey, Sean?
I agree. Yeah.
So can you give her my info later?
I will.
Yes,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
have your
text
number,
you,
but
Sean.
she has my number. So,
I'm going to text you, Sean, so you can pass me his number. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to go take a shower because I have dinner that I have to go with my husband's boss and his wife. Since they're going to help me move, we're going to start coordinating all of that. I'm super excited. I'm blessed. I'm not alone. And like you said,
you're
don't
not
close
alone. And when you
yourself
do the show with Harvey and me, you'll find out we'll get other people coming on there, and you're not alone. And you're helping so many other women that are going through what you.
Thank you, guys. I'm just reciprocating what you guys gave me, because, like, at the end of the day, you did give me the tools too, Sean. You did give me the tools, and you gave me the resources to reach out, and the resources that the foundation has too. It's very selfless, and a lot of people have to understand that there's people out there willing to help you. You just have to meet them halfway.
You got to pick up that heavy phone and make that call. That's the first step.
It's 150 pounds there.
Yeah, it's heavy. And whatever, and then you get a voicemail. Well, I tried. I tried. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they don't call back anymore, and you're like, okay. Oh man, thank you guys. I'm gonna keep listening on the background. I'm gonna take a shower and get ready for my afternoon.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you guys, and then I'm gonna text you, Sean, so I can get Harvey's information. And we can
I'll send that right to you. Yeah,
sounds good then. God bless you guys.
Yeah, God bless you.
Thank you.
Well, Harvey, that was interesting. I'd seen somebody on the screen. I normally, who's this? Is this a troll? But I'm glad she came on, and I didn't know. She talked to
Hey, who was the guy earlier? The guard who said he had his eyes on us.
Yeah, is that your guard or my guard?
I don't know, but
here's the first giveaway, Harvey. He said, "I'm the guard." They don't like to be called guard. They like to be called correctional officers.
Right.
So I don't think he was a guard. He wouldn't have said that.
No, I think he was just messing with us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They get mad if you say guard.
Yeah. So right there, that's kind of, if you really are a guard, you wouldn't have said that.
Right.
So, yeah.
So
anyways, what's going on with you these days, Harvey? How's your wife?
Oh, she's doing well, and
she's coming